I'm Edwin Warfield. I'm the publisher of Citybiz. I'm honored today to interview Mitch Gold, the founder and CEO of Gold & Company. Welcome, Mitch.
Thank you.
You started your commercial real estate career back in 1988. When did you decide to start Gold & Company? And tell us a little bit of the history.
I have to be honest that I was fired from every job that I ever had, and rightfully so. Finally, someday, one of my clients, who a very successful guy, told me that he was also fired from every job that he ever had. And that's when I knew that I should not be embarrassed about it, that I should embrace it. So I worked for a while, but for some inexplicable reason, I fell in love with real estate. I really can't tell you why. My dad was a physiologist. My mom is a bookkeeper. All of my relatives work for the government or they're teachers with good retirement packages. I just fell in love with real estate, and based on my work history, after 10 years of bumping around with other companies, I decided that if I really wanted to function in this world, I would need to do it on my own.
And so, tell us about the actual decision what was involved in starting your own company.
Well, initially I had a partner for about 18 months, and then he decided to retire. And candidly, that was a really scary time for me. I knew a little bit about the business, but I was not an expert at it. And I didn't really know too much about running a business. I was very, very fearful, a lot of trepidation, but ultimately, as time progressed, I got my footing and got more comfortable with the position that I was in.
And so you've been in business for over 3 decades. Can you highlight some of your major transactions over those 3 decades?
Yes. Well, the first highlight was literally my very first deal, which was for a granite company south of downtown by the new Ravens Stadium. It was for 100,000 square feet. And that literally carried me for like 2 years. When I got into the business, we almost immediately had a recession in the country, and it was really a depression in real estate. And the motto back then was stay alive until 95. So that was definitely something that carried me for a long time. There have been 3 recessions in real estate, but that was by far the worst. I've had a lot of really interesting projects along the way. One of them was working with Kennedy Krieger Institute and Hopkins Medical School. We assembled like 200 properties north of the medical school campus, which is now part of East Baltimore Development, Inc. Really excellent redevelopment with nice buildings over there and a hotel. So that's worked out really well. Done just a ton of small deals along the way. One thing I really want to add, though, is one of the highlights for me was I hired a young former Division I basketball player who hails from the great state of Minnesota. He's 6'9". Name is Jim Chivers. He's been with me, I don't know, I've lost count, maybe 15 or 16 years. And he's really turned into a real estate superstar.
So great. Can you give us a snapshot of where the firm is today?
Well, there are 4 of us currently. And really, we do all kinds of real estate. We do retail and office, but our bread and butter is industrial. And really within that, we are in the industrial, in the Class B and C properties. And what I found was when I decided I wanted to go into real estate, when I started falling in love with buildings, I realized that I didn't like shopping very much except Home Depot. So retail real estate was out for me. I didn't like putting on a suit and tie that much. So office was out for me. That's why industrial really suited me super well. The other thing about industrial is that in the Class B and C, the major companies, they focus on the Class A stuff, and the B and C stuff was really kind of neglected. So that really gave me a kind of a specialty opportunity, and that's become my market niche.
And talk about some of your clients.
It's really, we see a wide variety of clients. And the thing that amazes me is how many hail from outside the United States. There's so many immigrants who come here, entrepreneurial. Gosh, I've had clients from Israel, India, Iceland, places in Africa, the Caribbean, certainly many East Asian and European countries. So that's been a really interesting part of my business. Another part is, you think we deal with mostly local companies, which we do, but we have quite an exposure for national companies. So we've dealt with, companies out of Washington State and Oregon, Texas, certainly, and then definitely New York, Jersey, Virginia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. So we have a wide variety of where our clients come from.
And let's talk about some of your recent transactions and really the impact of COVID on your business.
When COVID first hit about a year ago, I was really nervous, and I was fully expecting our fourth recession. So as they say, keep your powder dry, and that's what I was doing. It turned out that the demand for industrial space, because of things like the Amazon effect, because of e-commerce, because it used to be just-in-time inventory, and now today it's just-in-case inventory. It really, industrial exploded, and gosh, we had a super year last year. All kinds of industrial transactions in logistics, in construction. We work with recycling companies and companies that are in transportation business. Certainly, trucking is quite a bit of our business as well.
And can you tell me the number of deals and the sales and leases for last year, and then perhaps the aggregate dollar value?
Yes. So we had a super year last year. I think we did 21 sales, and we did 13 leases. We're a really sales-oriented company. Around, I want to say like 400,000 square feet. I know compared to some of the Trade Point Atlantic deals, that's not much, but for little guys like us, it's really a really nice number. And the aggregate value is exceeding $50 million. So I'm very happy about our performance last year.
And do you play any role in the financing, the capital formation, or is it purely the sales and leasing?
Yeah, that's a good question. We differ a little bit because most of our clients are what I call owner users. These are companies, folks that own a business and really want to own their own real estate. And there are quite a few companies that do want to own. And often for the owner, it's the best 401k policy you could possibly get. As far as the financing goes, we help them obtain financing usually through local banks. We're happy to help people identify the bank, and really for the bank's point of view, the owner user is probably one of the best commercial loans that they can make.
And so as you said, you're focused on the industrial in the B and C sector. I mean, as everyone knows that Amazon has had a huge impact, I guess, on the A sector. Is there a spillover effect? And is that really what you are capitalizing upon?
Absolutely. It's funny because when Amazon takes more space, first of all, the benefit is that they also need supporting services. So that's kind of the people that we're dealing with. They also kind of push people out of certain spaces. And when those people get pushed out, they come to us because they need space as a replacement. It's really hurt a lot of the small retailers, which is unfortunate. We were discussing Fells Point earlier. A lot of the small, shops down there are being hurt because now everybody can buy things online and have it delivered to them the next, 24 hours or whatever. But in the industrial space, it's probably been a positive thing.
Yeah, my own building, Union Wharf, if you went back a year ago, there'd be maybe 20 packages a day. Now there are 50 to 100 packages a day. I mean, the entire lobby is. In fact, they have something called the Amazon Hub in my building because of all the Amazon delivery. So, they're.
I should have been in the cardboard box business.
So let's talk about some of what are the growth plans? It seems like you're well positioned in the B and C industrial space. Are there any growth plans?
As they say, the best laid plans of mice and men. So you have to be careful about that. While I'm always thinking about the future, my planning for it could be maybe a little bit better. However, at the same time, we're always looking for really good and motivated, talented real estate people. So absolutely, will we add a good person? No doubt about it.
And so, what questions should I've asked that I haven't asked? Is what part of your story should our readers and listeners know that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, just that I think Baltimore's got some really awesome buildings in it. The architecture is really fantastic. I think there's some super value adds here that are opportunities. I love the historic nature of Baltimore. When I was a college intern, I did an internship with the former Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark, and I had a chance to go all around the city, and that's kind of when I fell in love with the city. Almost right out of college, I moved to Charles Village. Eventually, I bought a row house with 3 apartments, so I was a landlord when I was 24. But there's a lot of really super opportunity in the city, and I want the city to prosper and grow and keep getting better.
Well, Mitch, I want to thank you for your time, and it seems like you've got a nice niche that you've carved out over the years, and we wish you the best of luck going forward, and that you do some major leases and sales transactions this year. Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.